Cool, the camera's rolling.
Okay. Yeah, hi there, Jody. Look, fantastic work. I've just got one quick question here. China in Africa. What are your thoughts around what's happening there?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sure. How do you feel about the role of China being in Africa and all the money and investment that they're pouring into Africa?
Sorry, Darcy, my phone's like not very clear. Did you say, how do I feel about China's role and the aid investments that they're making into Africa?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, well thank you for your question, Darcy, and I think it's an important one. In response to your question, I would say that there are more extreme poor in Africa now today than there were 30 years ago. China has recently seen 400 million people lifted out of extreme poverty in the last 20 years, which is fantastic, and they are in a position where they are able to invest into Africa. And so from my perspective, I would be really supportive of the aid that they're investing into Africa, but I would also like to say that just to be completely honest, I'm not fully across how much money that China is investing into Africa and what that exactly looks like. So what's important for me is that I can direct you into the right hands. So if you'd like to come have a chat with me after, I'd love to get your email address and your phone number, and I can learn a little bit more about this issue and then be able to follow up with you as soon as I can to give you a little bit of a fuller description of this answer.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much for that. That's a good one. I've just got one more quick question for you. You said today that there's enough food in the world to feed the world's poor, or that the amount of money that we waste on food. How can we solve this problem? How can we think about getting people so that they're not greedy and that we can just share this planet together?
Great question, Darcy. I think it's a concern that a lot of people in this room will share with you. The question of, because we in fact do have enough food to feed the world over 1.5 times over, but yet 1 billion people will still go hungry. And in response to that, I think the first thing is really about raising people's awareness to this and really educating them that this is actually going on in our world today and that we can actually do something to make a difference. I'd like to point you towards Millennium Development Goal number 1, which is eradicating extreme poverty and hunger. And as we saw in the presentation today, we are seeing a lot of really good things, like, for example, in Malawi, where the governments were helping their farmers increase in their crop productivity. So these are things that we can do. I would suggest that we really need to be getting behind our government and really encouraging them to lead an urgent action plan to meet the Millennium Development Goals, and with the focus on hunger, because we can actually make a big difference in this area. And it's worked out that if we give 0.7% of our national income, and all the OECD countries do that, then this is enough to actually finance all the Millennium Development Goals and see them achieved by 2015. And so I would say it'd be really good to get behind the Millennium Development Goals, things like the DPI Summit coming up later this year and the Millennium Development Goals Summit, really helping to raise awareness around that.
Cool. Thank you very much. That'll do you. Standing ovation.
Yeah.